OK.
Somebody did say to me once, he said to me, when you smile, you look like a black Alan Sugar.
Actually, yeah.
Alan Brown Sugar.
Yeah.
Stephen, can I ask why your greatest ever couple is the Queen and Prince Philip?
I nominate them to be the greatest ever couple because for over 50 years, they have fooled us all. They've got the best life. We pay for them. It's just a ridiculous notion. The world has moved on, but they have kept it going. Prince Philip, who is very well known for all his gaffes, has passed on that gene to his grandson, Harry. If indeed it is his grandson. But
were you on the receiving end of one of these gaffes?
I was actually, yes. I did, because I wanted to get an OB, so I did Prince Charles's 60th birthday party. And in the lineup, Prince Harry comes up to me, and again, I quote, he said this to me, he said, oh, tell me, you don't sound like a black chap. Yeah.
Prince Harry said that?
Yeah. And I swear to God, in my head, I was like, well, how's that supposed to sound, Master?
Wow.
In my head. But what actually came out was, why, thank you, and I bowed.
That was absolutely wonderful. Well, I met the Prince and he told me I don't sound like a black chap, and I was so thrilled. What a lovely thing to say.
I went home and told all the other Negroes. It was amazing.
Joe, we need to ask you why you have nominated as your greatest ever couple, Cagney and Lacey.
Well, I thought of couple as a partnership of people that work together and support each other, and also because I can't not hear the music of Cagney and Lacey without feeling happy. When I hear that, then I'm like, oh, lovely, happiness. And Christine wearing culottes in the opening credit, not an easy thing to do.
Which one's Christine, the blonde?
She's
hair
the blonde one.
Right.
She's the blonde one with the drink problem who's single.
Yeah.
It's such a perfect balance. And then you've got the dumpy one who's married with kids. So each time they see what each other's got in their life. And also, I think it was the first time I saw relatively young women, strong, and they were really solving crime. It wasn't like Miss Marple going, oh, Vicar, somebody's fallen over in the village again. You know, it was proper crime. Even now, I don't know why the fixation that women can only solve crime when they're at the menopause.
Right.
Isn't it? Isn't it like Hetty Wainthropp and even like Rosemary and Thyme? It's like, oh, I'm getting a bit flushed. Maybe I'll start solving crime. Right. So Cagney and Lacey in the prime of their life. And I do think that, you know, sometimes when they'd had a drink after a hard case, there would have been a little bit of snogging going on. I think that did happen. You know, because girls, you know, it happens. You're under stress. And so I think there was a little bit of that happening too.
I have to decide on a winner here. And does anyone in the audience have a strong feeling? Because I might throw this one to the audience. I think we should go to Philip over there, actually. It's my friend Philip.
He's got a point about the Queen and Prince Philip. I mean, they are the most well-known couple, and Cagney and Lacey, I don't know, they're a bit... People don't really care about them anymore. They're kind of... Well, I mean, you get the odd replay years later, but people, they're a bit forgotten about.
Exactly.
And who was the third one again?
People of no value.
Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet. Well, I don't think... Well, that's a bit schoolish. I think the Queen and Prince Philip are quite controversial, aren't they, really? I don't know.
I think you need to make a decision here, sir. Well, then we can all go home.
They're kind of part of our family, aren't they, really? If anything happened to them, it's almost like you experience a loss, but you don't even care about them.
I think that's a very good point. You know, they say you don't know what you've got till you've lost it. And I think we do malign the royal family. Actually, when the Queen and Prince Philip aren't with us anymore, I think we'll miss them tremendously. And I think, for that reason, the winner of the highly prized Lucas for greatest ever couple is the Queen and Prince Philip. Personally, I think you all overlook the greatest couple in history, from my point of view, from Grange Hill, Roland Browning, and the girl who confiscated his toffos and said, I only want to help you, Roland. Talk of which leads me on to my next award. Now, I found aspects of school life depressing, whether it's double maths with Mr. Jarman, biology with Dr. Bagley, or drama with Simon. Yes, school is simply prison in capsule form, and to honour this fact, it's time to open our textbooks and find out, without talking, the nominations for the Lucas for most depressing school subject. Joe.
Art.
Oh, no. John.
Technology.
Oh, please. Stephen.
P.E.
Shoot me now. So, to recap, the nominations for most depressing school subject are art, technology and PE. Joe, why have you gone for art?
From about the age of 3 to 6, my early art period, I was very good at art because everything you did, you were told, was fantastic.
Yes, it's true.
I used to use potatoes, was my métier at the time. So you could do potato painting. You could do this thing where you just squirt the paint around. Whatever you did, it was good, and it would be put somewhere. And then you were at school and you were 6, and all of a sudden they're going, that's rubbish. Now the whole obsession is colouring in between the lines. It was all about neatness, and I'm very messy. My artwork's more sort of like a dirty protest. I wasn't fooled. I just thought, what's the point? Why should I colour this in when clearly adults can do this much better, and my mother could just buy me a proper book that has already been coloured in?
I think it's interesting because there is a point when art becomes a bit more serious at school. And as you say, if you're not good at it, you're just rubbish.
No, I was so rubbish.
Yeah, there's no in-between, is there?
I tried to draw. We had to draw a small animal. I drew a dormouse. I kept going out of the lines to the point where I remember the teacher coming up and she said, why don't you just make it a big brown cow? And it then took up near the whole sheet of paper, this thing that started like that, because I couldn't control things.
Did ever an old man come in or an old lady and sit naked and you have to draw them?
I think if that happened to you, you should talk to somebody about it, yes.
No, that does happen at school,
Not in
doesn't
school.
It? Yes.
School?
No.
Yes, in the 5th form and 6th form, yes.
Well, an old
Maybe
man comes
then.
in and goes, hello, draw me. I don't think so, man.
Well, we had it in my school. Mind you, it was a private school for boys.
Was it very, very private?
I think it should have remained private by the response I'm getting. So you've gone for art.
I think you're being very unfair there, Joe, actually, because I think art, just because you weren't good at it, I don't think you should nominate that, because art, for many people, is very therapeutic.
Oh, if they're sick, I'm sure they love it, you know. I understand it gives them hope, yes.
John, tell us why you went for technology.
Well, at least art, if you're rubbish at art, you can just sit down and draw a dog or a mouse that turns into a cow. If you're bad at technology, you have to stand up and cut things and glue things, and everybody laughs. And I had to do technology for 5 years, not because my school decided it was important, but because they built a new technology centre. One modern language, that's fine. Just do one modern language, even though you're good at them. We'll make you make a bedside cabinet that is so big everyone laughs, and you can't get it home because it won't fit through the door anymore.
I sort of think technology's got no place in school. It's like a thing that should happen after school. You know, if I'm at school and I'm learning, why do I have to go off and sort of carve a bit of wood or something like that? It's just I'm not like in a farm or something. I'm not in the countryside. I'm a northwest London urban Jew. Why am I having to carve things out of wood? I don't use my hands. I'm a Jew. I'm not going to do manual work. I had this weird thing where in technology, and this is why I resent technology, we had a teacher called Mr. Dinsdale with a very, very greasy forehead. It's just one of those things you remember, isn't it? And we had to make these... you make a little toast rack, and it was a 3 or 4 week project. And I arrived for, I think, the 4th week, and mine was missing. And he said, where's your toast rack? And I said, well, I can't find it. He said, well, OK, we've got some spare ones here from past pupils. I'll give you that, and you can have that for the lesson. I went, OK. And then he came round about 2 minutes later and started to mark everyone's toast racks, and he marked mine. And he goes, well, you've totally missed this on the edges. This is very sharp. And I went, yeah, but I didn't make this one. And he went, you didn't make it? Well, I'm only giving you 6 out of 10 then. And then just wandered off. It was just bizarre. Stephen, why did you go for PE?
I think every single one of us in this room has a hideous PE story. It was torture. Can anyone here even say that they had a good PE teacher? PE teaching is a useless waste of time. My PE teacher was obviously someone who hadn't excelled in anything else apart from teaching us how to play catch and running round a field and climbing up and down a rope. PE, physical education, what for?
Well, I think PE is good because it's where the weak children get sort of weeded out because they have accidents. You know, and if they escape accident-free, they'll get bullied in the locker room. We just get rid of them, the weak ones.
Well, I wish I was weak. Instead, I was asked by my PE teacher, oh, I bet you're a runner, aren't you? You can run, you people. What? You can run, you people? It's ridiculous. This notion of getting kids together, and in my day, in my school, if you forgot your PE kit, they made you do it in your underpants. It's not awful.
Do you think that still happens at school now?
I bet it doesn't.
OK, so we've heard all of your arguments. I mean, I've got to tell you, I'm going in the direction of wanting to give the award to PE because I've always hated PE. It was very competitive. It was the big Aryan boys and the little Jews just in the back.
Did the little Jews not do well?
No, we're sedentary, us Jews. We don't... You know, I think there was Mark Spitz once, some sort of swimmer. But that's it. We sit in chairs, you know, at desks, and we get little stomachs, and it works for us. No, it doesn't work. No, I think, yeah, maybe if you're not Jewish, probably PE is quite a pleasure. The thoroughly deserving winner of the Lucas for most depressing school subject is PE. There you go. That, all that remains tonight is to award the Lucas of Lucases, the most celebrated gong of all, and this week I'm going to be awarding it to the most argumentative guest. Now, you've all been a bit mouthy this week. Stephen's quaking now, but I have to say, one of the guests here tonight, and you won't have seen it at home because it's a radio show, but one of the guests flipped me the finger, and that is John Richardson. And so the Lucas for most argumentative guest goes to John Richardson. Congratulations, John. Would you like to say a few words?
Well, if flipping the bird can get me this, then who knows where it can get me.
Exactly.
And I tend to flip it at everyone.
Congratulations. Let's give a round of applause to our newly crowned winner. And thanks again to all of my guests, Stephen K. Amos, Joe Caulfield and John Richardson. Join me again for another episode of the already award-winning, and the winner is, recipient of the prestigious Lucas for Best Radio 2 Comedy Show Ever Made. Goodbye! And the winner is was presented by me, Sir Matt Lucas. The guests were Stephen K. Amos, Joe Caulfield and John Richardson. The programme associates were Bill Matthews and Jed Parsons, and it was devised by Ashley Blaker and Bill Matthews. And I thought of some bits as well. I don't want you to think I'm just some kind of puppet. And the winner is was produced by Dame Ashley Blaker.